they both heard the sound in the middle of the night. Someone was scratching very hard on the wall. Hello guys, I'm Fierce Hamzasund. Welcome back to my channel. So tonight I am going to tell you another creepy story. This one experience that I had when I was around 5 or 6 years old. Okay, how do I start? My dad used to work as a cook in an industrial area in KUALA, BARAM. He and my mom, including my younger brothers, are living at the quarters provided for the, for the employees. And I live apart from my parents all the time since I was a kid. I live with my grandparents, my uncles, my aunties, and I move around a lot. But I will come and stay at their place, at the quarters, during the weekend for 1 or 2 nights sleep, or during the school breaks for 1 week. And yeah, so this experience I had happened there at the quarters. First, I think I'll describe how the quarters look like. It was a wooden quarters, a wooden house, but it's like a long house. So we have, I think, about 10 doors, 10 different rooms, but it's all like connected. It's like totally look like a long house lah. And right in front of the quarters is the kitchen and the eating area for Indonesian workers. And my father worked there lah, at the kitchen. And our room is like the first and the second room was belong to us, and it has like a connecting door between these two rooms. And our room was facing the kitchen. There was one night I was about to go to sleep. At the time, I think it was already past midnight. Everybody was sleeping. My dad, my mom, my younger brothers, we were all sleeping. But suddenly I was woken up by this one sound coming from the kitchen. There was someone cooking lah, the noise from the kitchen. As if, people were working lah. They were cooking something and it was very loud. So I thought that they were operating early lah. I didn't think much. I was just a kid, So I thought they were operating early. But my father was still asleep, because if they start working, my father would have gone to work already, right? But my father was still sleeping on his bed. And I was like, okay. I think I looked at the clock at that time. It was like it was past midnight lah, around 2 or 3 o'clock like that. And out of my curiosity, I go to the window. I took a peek lah. As soon as I opened the curtain, the sound stopped. It was totally quiet, and I was still looking lah into the kitchen, because the kitchen there were no curtains lah. It was like only a grill window, so you can clearly see the kitchen area, the cooking area, and there was nobody. And suddenly, after I opened the curtain, it went totally quiet. And I tried to look carefully lah, if there is somebody in the kitchen, if there was somebody in the kitchen. So I kept on looking, no one lah. The light was still on. They don't turn off the light in the kitchen area except for the eating area. So I tried to look and look and look again. There was nobody. So who was cooking just now? Okay, never mind. The first time it happened, I think probably I was having a dream lah. So I just get back to sleep. Okay, and yeah, I fell asleep again, and then it was, I think, less than a few minutes, I heard the noise again, like someone was like, chopping things, and all of the utensils are clanking from the kitchen. And I woke up again. I quickly go to the window and take a peek again, and it went quiet again. When I look around, there was nobody. I was about to go out and check, but at that time I didn't do it lah. I think I was not that brave to go out and go straight to the kitchen and check. So the second time it happened, when I heard the noise again. I look, okay, then it went quiet again. There was still nobody in the kitchen. I keep on thinking. I was like, okay, what is it? Like, who was it? Or probably it was coming from another block or something. Our accommodation and the kitchen was like, I think around 5 meters apart lah. And I think less than 5 meters apart. It was actually very close. Once it became quiet again, I close the curtain, I go to my bed, I sleep again, and then nothing happened after that. But it was not the last time. So every time when I come over to my parents' place, I heard the same noise at around the same time. I think it happens until I was like 7 years old. Yeah. So until one point I get used to it lah. I just don't want to bother. So at night when I hear things from the kitchen, I just force myself to sleep lah. I don't want to go and pick again, because by that time I already realized that it was not human. So yeah, I don't want to check lah. My mother told me the same thing, because they live there all the time. I just come, on the weekend during school breaks. But I heard like many times already. So when I told my mother said, "Oh, there was something normal lah. Probably the other thing was there and doing some cooking, having their meals there. Okay lah. They want to use the area, up to them lah." And that's how I realized, okay, it was real lah. Since I was not the only one who experienced it, my mother heard the same thing too. And when my mother talked with our neighbors from the next rooms, and another employees who live nearby the kitchen, they also told the same thing lah. They heard people cooking at night in the kitchen, but when they looked, there was nobody, and the noise completely disappeared. I'm not surprised, because the place used to be jungle area in Kuala BARAM, And what happens next? It was another night. So this another night I experienced another thing. It was at the back of our quarters. Okay. So the front window is facing the kitchen. Our back window is facing like, I don't know what area was at the back, but there was another building at the back. A storage area, I think. But at the back there was like a wooden fence, and it was a gravel road right behind our quarters. And when anybody walk at the back. You can hear lah. Because when you are walking on the gravel road, you can hear the stones making like rustling sound, right? Everybody else was already sleeping, and I was about to go to sleep. Suddenly I heard someone was walking at the back area, so you can hear it clearly lah. But that person, I don't know if it was a person also, but how to say, that thing or that person, whatever lah, wasn't just walking. That person was dragging something, like a bag or something. I don't know lah. When I first heard it, I was like, okay, could be a dog or whatever. But because I play at the back area a lot with my younger brother at that time, so I know when a dog pass by, they won't make much of a sound lah, compared to a human, because you can hear the footstep walking on the gravel. So this person was walking past our room now. I was like, okay, probably there was someone working like at the back there or doing something, whatever. So I didn't care. This person keep on walking back and forth, passing our quarters, passing our room, and the same sound lah. Walking, dragging something, walking and dragging something. And I was very curious to take a peek lah. But since I already don't know, what happened or what is going on in the kitchen, I kind of get scared lah already at that time. So I was like, okay, I mean, I'm curious, I want to know what was it, but I was scared lah. It happened for more than half an hour and then it stopped. And that was the first and the last time I heard that lah. But the sound kept on mingling in my mind until today. I'm still wondering what was that? Is it really a person? So if it was a person, I have a lot of questions to ask, like why are you walking back and forth? I mean, at the back of our room in the middle of the night. And then the other thing that I want to ask, what were you dragging at that time? Because it sounds very heavy lah. Those were the two experiences I had there lah. And we also heard many stories from people, from our neighbors lah, from the other Indonesian workers who live in the next room. There was this one Indonesian worker. She was staying alone in this second last room. So the last room was located next to a river, and it was very dark at that area. She told my mother, you know what? Last night I heard someone was crying at the back area. She heard it many times. She thought it was coming from our room because there were no other children there. It was just us, me and my younger brothers lah. We were the only children in that quarters. Before that, she did ask my mother, did my younger brother cried last night? My mother said no. My younger brother was sleeping soundly, and he didn't cry at all. And she did ask it like a few times to my mother, but at that time she haven't told my mother what she really heard lah. Until there was one night she said she heard the sound was very near to her wall, and her bed was right next to the wall, and she can hear it very clearly through the wall. And it was clearly a woman weeping, not kids. And she told my mother lah, and her other friends, and some of them also said, yeah, they heard, someone was crying at night, but all of them also they thought it was coming from our room. A few nights later, the disturbance started to get more like extreme. This one night, she can hear someone was scratching her wall. The sound was like someone was scratching the wall very hard. And she was very scared lah. To the point it happened for a few nights, and then she had to ask her boyfriend to come over and sleep with her in the room. At first the boyfriend also didn't believe her lah. But then the boyfriend came, and yeah, the boyfriend also told the same thing. Yeah, they both heard the sound in the middle of the night. Someone was scratching very hard on the wall, and they can hear the sound very clearly. And by the time the boyfriend heard the sound, he quickly opened the door and ran to the back area, trying to chase, whoever was there. Because at that time he was still thinking that it could be someone who was trying to disturb her. So when he reached the back area, he heard a woman was laughing, and the sound was very loud at first, but then the sound slowly degrades, and it went far away. While we were talking, I was there sitting also listening to their stories. They said, oh, it could be Pontianak lah, because every time when there's like a woman crying, or it will always be associated with Pontianak lah. So they think, oh, it could be a Pontianak or something. And then the boyfriend stay over at her place in her room for, I think, for more than a week lah. And they heard it every night. Someone was crying, and then the scratching sound on the wall. And the guy was keep on, every time when he hear the scratching sound, he'll run to the back area. But he didn't see a thing lah. You cannot see much also lah at the back area, because it was very dark. Even if you open the window, you look, you can't see much lah. It was very dark. So when you go to the back with a flashlight and trying to look for anybody who was there trying to disturb, there was nothing lah. What happened after that? She asked for a transfer lah to a different accommodation, because she cannot take it anymore. And I think she stayed at her boyfriend place after that. It was very scary lah when you heard that kind of things, to the point, because there was no toilet in in our room or in the other room. So we share this one toilet which is located outside, and it was connected to the kitchen building. It was like kitchen, eating area, and then the toilet at the far end near the bushes and river area, which is very dark. So whenever we have to go for a pee or doing business number 2, we have to go to that toilet. And I still remember it was a very creepy toilet lah. It was like a ghost house lah. And after what we have experienced and what we have heard from the Indonesian employee, we always go and settle our business early lah. You want to go for a pee, you want to go for a poo, okay, do it like at least around 9 o'clock, settle already, and you straight away go to sleep. After we moved out from that area, my father was transferred to another place. But I have like a school friends who stay there, but he was not staying in the building that we used to stay in lah. From what he told me, our quarters was already empty at that time when they stay there. So they were staying at a new building, and there were many stories, like I said, other people were experiencing things or seeing things from that area. Not surprised lah. Because we experienced it first, and we already know. We used to call the place as Engkop, I think, and yeah, Engkop lah. So, and that was it lah. That was the only thing that I experienced there. I think there were other stories, but I can't remember lah. I mean, the other Indonesian workers also did share their experience, a scary experience that they had there. But I can't really remember what was it. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy listening to my story. Yep. See you next week, hopefully. Because I've been busy these few weeks, so I did skip, I think, 2 Fridays without content. That's all for now. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye.